Hey, what's up guys? Tugi here, back again with another episode of A Nation United Finland edition with the Espoo Eagles. We are living in the aftermath of this team losing in the Stanley Cup final for the second straight year, having lost to Anaheim in the 2026 final, and now Calgary in the 2027 final. And it puts us into a very interesting situation, an interesting time for this team, where yet again, we don't really know what we're going to look like by the start of the next season. Again, 7 games over Florida, 5 games over New Jersey, 7 games over Buffalo, but then falling in 7 to the Flames. It was a devastating end to another great run where we came up just short. Now, that said, the team, for the most part, performed. At the very least, the top 6 did. I mean, Simon Teval, Rantanen, Ludman, Kakko, Lambert, and Louis. I'm calling him Louis, King Louis, Jungle Book bitches. But yeah, our top 6 absolutely performed. But then you have, the bottom 6, where where the majority, I would say, or at least a lot of the controversy came from, was my willingness to just take out players who were underperforming, throw the people into the lineup, and see how they would do. Now, there wasn't that much controversy with it when we dropped not this Tiervainen, but the other Tiervainen, and when we changed up the defense in the playoffs and called up guys like Ville Saarijarvi and Sami Niku. There wasn't that much controversy when I did that because it led to a win, but we lose, and all of a sudden, it's a bad strategy too. Come on. I'm kidding, of course, but, at the end of the day, when there's no clear-cut chemistry system, I know that there's like, oh, this player likes playing with the morale system, there's that and favorites and such. But when there's no clear chemistry system, right? Like, oh, if these guys played together on a line for a while, they're going to play better now. There's no boosts for, certain player types on certain lines working together like they used to be back in the day in like NHL 04. The issue is, right, if someone's underperforming and you're heading into a Game 7, you have the option of either, okay, we throw the best team out there that we can, even if players have been underperforming, or hope for the best, throw people into the lineup and see what they can do. That strategy, as I'm not sure if the Calder Cup's been awarded yet, it had not. Binghamton ends up winning that. That strategy, when it works, hey, it works. When it doesn't work, yeah, it's going to be the thing that... it's going to be the thing where people point fingers at and be like, man, that was your big mistake right there. But, odds are, had we not made the changes, and here, let me go see the name of the other guy for sure, because I just don't want to be like, oh, this guy, here, I want to point out who I'm talking about specifically. But when we, oh God, I forgot that it changed the triggers. When we sent down Tiervainen and Peltonen for those 2 underperforming, again, there really wasn't that much of a discussion. Like, Tiervainen played 17 games in the postseason, had 2 points, it was a -2 after putting up 25 points in the regular season. And then Tuomo Peltonen had a 23-point regular season, but he had 2 points and was a -7 in 17 games. We sent those guys down, called up some other people, and it was fine. Then, of course, now look, the point is, and I get it, right? It might not have been the right call. I'm not saying, you guys, you're dumb, you're wrong, I'm right. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. But do I feel as though it hurt our chances to send down Pirnes, Haula, Koivula, and Lemiko? Or, Lemiko, I guess it would be. And to put guys like Nurmi, Palmu, and Virta into the lineup just to see what would happen? Not really. Especially someone like Patrick Virta, who we had at the NHL level before, and, he's a former 30-point guy. Who's to say that in a playoff situation, he wouldn't step up? He also had 72 points in 82 games in the AHL regular season. So it wasn't exactly, I didn't throw a 60 overall guy into the lineup. I threw a guy into the lineup that, hey, he'd been able to put up points before. You look at what happened last year. I don't know if we make it to the Stanley Cup final last year if I don't put Tuomo Virtanen onto the 4th line. Legitimately don't know if we do. For whatever reason, that just caused a change. Now, again, I don't believe in, like, these, chemistry systems that exist. I'll still set up my team a certain way. But, if you throw someone into the lineup and they're performing, then sweet, they're performing. But there doesn't have to be a reason behind that necessarily. It can just be pure RNG. As opposed to, same reason. Take someone out who's underperforming for seemingly no reason. And all of a sudden things can go well. The bottom line is we lost, right? We lost. We went to 7 games. We only won 3. We lost. And bottom 6 struggles or not, third pairing defensive changes or not, with the goaltending, the top 4 defense, and the top 6 forwards that we had, we should have been able to win the cup. If not last year, this year especially. And we simply didn't get it done. Connor McDavid upsets Jack Hughes. He is the new winner of the Art Ross Trophy. Tyler Seguin wins the Hart. The Norris goes to Victor Hedman. Seguin wins the Lady Byng. The Calder to Barrie in Boston. A year after Jay Edwards won it. Haha. Pulled Colson. Ended up winning the Conn Smythe, which isn't surprising. I should probably think it's not really that surprising with what he had done in the playoffs. The Vezina goes to Luukkonen for the 3rd time in 5 years. He wins the Jennings. Waite in Los Angeles wins the Masterton. McDavid wins the Selke. Ted Lindsay goes to Tyler Seguin. And Jack Hughes wins the Rocket Richard. Down in the AHL, we'll take a quick scroll through. Sampo Ranta actually put up the most goals in the AHL. And I'm guessing that's Cale Fleury was the top defenseman. So there you go. And Keith Petruzzelli was the MVP of the Devils' Calder Cup playoff run. Speaking of the Calder Cup, congrats to the Charlotte Checkers. Won the Calder Cup last night over the Chicago Wolves. I just punched my desk. Yes, it hurt. Yes, I'm checking for blood. As we go to the draft. Speaking of Carolina, they have the number 1 overall pick in this draft. As far as this draft is concerned, let's double check to see if we have anybody available to us. And again, it's not looking good, is it? That is pretty rough. You have Samu Juntila. I mean, I'm shocked he's a two-way at 6'5". Probably worth getting. Matthias Ekholm comparisons. It's not too bad. We also have high top 6 defenseman Tommy Tuomainen. That is not a very common potential this year. Also a Matthias Ekholm comparison. So maybe, and there's a North Korean, Jeff Sarno. So maybe, just maybe, we will actually be making picks in this year's draft, although the 2nd round is looking dire. You have Kari Hakana, a couple of C's, Grabner comparison, and obviously in terms of top potential, do we have any steals? Loxonen. I don't like that he's in the 300s, though. Not at all. I might go for him in the 7th round, but he's not going to be good. Low top 6, Ville Santala. The Santala. Oh, God. He's also 20 years old, and again, low top 6 is just a brutal potential. Couple of medium 9s who honestly might be worth drafting just to kind of get some prospects into the system. None of them are outrageously good. There's a lot of medium top 9s in this draft. None of them are outrageously good, but maybe for the first time in a while we'll actually make a play in the draft. As Erik Karlsson retires as a member of the Sens with 1,000 points. Couture, Pacioretty. I can't look at Logan Couture without thinking he could have been a Bruin. Damn you, Zach Hamill. Oh, Atkinson, the Catkinson, and Wayne Simmons also calls it a career. And then again, Erik Karlsson, 1,000 points on the dot, which is outrageous. For goaltenders, Sergei Bobrovsky, Antti Ranta. Oh, Antti Ranta. What could have been? What could have been had you worked out for us? Mika Salamaki retired and became a scout. I feel like I'm required to sign him, more than likely. Although, I don't think I committed to all Finnish scouts. Maybe I should have, but that just would have been tedious as hell. Let's do this. It's draft time here for the Eagles. And we'll see what awaits us. I don't even know what our draft pick situation is right now, if I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's very good. We have very little cap space. We do have our first 2 seconds, 3/3. Okay, so we have some room to work. Goaltending-wise, it's dire outside of Luukkonen. Defensively, of course, we have some contracts to worry about. We will see how some of these guys develop as well. But yeah, this could be bad. It might not be the worst idea to move on from Risto and have Tiervainen play those top 4 minutes next year. Might not be the worst idea. Of course, I actually meant to jump into the re-sign phase here before we got to this point, but I'll have one day before it technically starts where I can send out offers. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough to keep everybody here, and as a member of this team, of course it was tough last year as well, and then we ended up with the troubles that we had. But let's take a look at the draft class at least. I don't know if I'm going to move on from anybody right now. So where was that defenseman rated? 19th, but CS has him at 15. So we'll make a trade, probably take him a little bit earlier. Let's see if we can make a deal with the Leafs or the Red Wings here. Yep, of course, Toronto didn't want to trade that pick. That's not surprising at all. Detroit, they're probably not going to want to trade it either if they're looking to get rid of some of their decent players. Okay, cool. This is worrisome. I wish it would tell you on this screen right here if they were willing to trade the pick. That would be tremendous. If there was an icon or the text color was different, it would be awesome if it would tell you from this screen that they were willing to trade that pick. That would be awesome because, again, I have to sit there and check. And it's like, oh, nope, they don't want to do it. So here, let me hit back and just, you know, obviously if they don't, oh my God, if they don't want to trade the pick, it's that much more expensive for you. New York, please, kill me. Just do it. Okay, Vancouver. Vancouver, my saving grace. See if we can get this to work out for us. We will give you our first and have some thirds. We'll see if that's enough. It is not. Quite far off. Oh, that's great. Here, have our second and also a third. That's a lot, but they accepted it. Apparently that's a gift horse. You know what? That's fine. As long as I get the pick that I want, damn it. I don't really care. The rest of them don't really have that much value to me. I don't remember if I was supposed to, or if I was gonna have Fog of War on. I was confused that between this series and the Hurricane series. Jesus, 84 overall. Out of the draft, Holden Donovan, that shooting category. Good Lord. But just wait until you see this fantastic Finn Junila. Good old Samu. You know, I'm not expecting too much here. Let's hope for like a 65 at the lowest. You just had to, yeah, didn't you? 64 overall, 18-year-old, medium top 4. That is not too shabby. But as far as who else we potentially draft here, I just don't know. I kind of want to get that high top 6 defenseman, but we don't really have the assets to trade back up to get him. Unless we move somebody else. Let's see if Boston or St. Louis want to move their picks. My God. My God, man. Okay, you know what? He's someone we might eventually trade for anyway. So what I'm going to do is just sim to our next pick, which is in the second round. And if there's anybody close to being on the board here for like those medium 9s, then we'll take them. But again, that second round was looking very, very rough. There is Kari Hakana. 61st. I mean, really, trading down for next year doesn't really help us all that much. I'll probably take him. I'll probably take him because why the hell not? And if there are those medium 9s available, we'll just take them. Again, trading down isn't going to help us out all that much. So we'll take the medium top 9. He's a 59. Oh, no. We go all the way to the 4th round, the end of the 4th round. Is there a Finn available? A medium top 6 defenseman and Mika Kervinen, who has a good physical category, but not much else. He's also 19, so that's a disaster. We'll take Pekkarinen. We could use a goalie. Hopefully he's not worse than that potential. Okay, he ended up being medium fringe. Obviously, we are very much hurting for decent prospects right now. Ilanen's medium 7th. That's just no thank you. Medium bottom 6. Topi Makinen. It's not bad, I guess. A low 6 forward. Oh, God. Oh, God. Low 9 forward. I guess we'll just be taking that one dude. I think we'll just take a risk with that one dude. Yeah, screw it. I'm not even going to use the 7th at this point. I don't care. Let's just take Marco Laaksonen. I expect him to be god-awful. And low top 4. Yep, god-awful. Because that potential is brutal this year. Absolutely brutal. So let's go ahead and get rid of the rest of our picks for this draft. There is only one, so it won't be that difficult to do. But it does give me the option to trade somebody just in case I think we're going to be in too much of a cap crunch. So think, Simon Tevin, we have to get rid of somebody. We have to. Lambert is on a great deal. Kakko, Rantanen, Ludman. But obviously Simon Taival's deal is up. We do have some money coming off the books, though. The only thing I can think of is that the Risto contract has to go. That's the only thing I can think of. Because we do have the built-in replacement for him. So I'm going to play it safe and at least make sure that we can get rid of Rasmus Ristolainen. What we trade him for, I have no idea. Probably for picks next year is about all we can do. Unless somehow, because I haven't been able to look, obviously, player search-wise, because you can't use that feature from within the year, which is kind of unfortunate. But I'm assuming that there aren't too many good players elsewhere that I can make the deal for. So we will try to trade for some draft picks in the future. I don't even remember if I was doing a one-pick back option at this point. I honestly, I don't care. We'll go for 2 firsts and 2 seconds. And let's go ahead and add cheap players on expiring deals. Like Slychuk. And I think Aho's deal's up, so I'm not going to tack him onto this. But will that go through? Of course. You know, why it just doesn't... Again, I would love it if there was a menu where it would just say, you know, we're not interested. Like, okay, basically, if that's the case and they're saving up money, they shouldn't have interest in Ristolainen. It should adjust, and they should not have interest in Ristolainen to the point where it's like, oh, well, actually, we're still wanting to sign people that we have to sign. Thanks anyway. It should not show up as, oh, yeah, we're interested in this guy, even though there's no chance that I can really trade him there, unless I just completely butcher the odds into their favor. Just another random complaint today. 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a third for Risto and a 6th. That goes through. Erasmus, thank you very much. Tried like hell to win you a Stanley Cup. It just wasn't meant to be. I don't know what to tell you. It just wasn't meant to be. But we pick up a couple of players in this draft. Nobody great, that's for sure. And we have 1 day here before free agency officially starts to try and really take full advantage of ye old 85% trick. So in terms of goaltending, we're fine. We don't act well. I mean, Husso, Vevalainen, and Makaniemi are up, but we're fine. Defensively is where it gets scary, because the aforementioned Tiervainen needs a new deal, as does Olli Juolevi. What is the money? Okay, so we have 35 million bucks available. That's not too bad. But obviously, I mean, thank God Simon Taival's an RFA, although he's apparently not wanting to re-sign. He only wants a 1-year deal, which is not going to happen. I want an 8-year deal. Thank you very much. Please take it. If I can get him on this 8-year contract at like 8.25, granted, 85% I could drop it down to just under 7.9. We'll try 8.25 over 8 years. And if we get Simon Taival to that, we are laughing all the way to the bank. From there... Tiervainen as an RFA is going to be the next one that we really focus on. And I mean, screw it. Might as well try to get him on an 8-year deal now. Of course, in previous games, I was a little bit worried about giving still developing players 8-year deals, because sometimes that does seem to stunt their development. But I'm still going to risk it here. And we'll go 5.85 for Tiervainen. And aside from that, like someone like Piernez will probably be dropped. Olli Juolevi wants a 6-year deal. I might as well try to sign him to 7.5 over 8. He probably is going to want 8 million plus, but that would be a steal of a deal. Thomas Hikola, again, might as well try to sign you to a full-on deal. Let's go 7 by 8 and hope for a miracle. And then Borgstrom, Nivara, Bjorkqvist, Lehkonen. In fairness, Mika Piernez should be brought back. He's still a younger player and could get to be a little bit better. We'll drop that down to 1.5 over 2 years for him. And from there, we'll leave everybody else out of the loop for now, for lack of a better term. We'll wait to see what happens with our big money players heading into the re-sign phase as we try to keep this team together. We do have some scouts that we're going to have to worry about. Let's see. Tiervainen rejects. Olli Juolevi signed. That's great. Pirnez rejects. Simon Tyval rejects. Hikola rejects. Well, we got Olli Levy on a cheap contract, and that's about it. That complicates things just a little bit. So, yet again, I'm just going to let these three go to free agency, and we'll see who the hell's available. Hikola. You need to sign. You really do. So, let's try 7.5 over 8 years, which probably will not be enough, but we'll hope. Tyrväinen. Again, let's try for 8 years. 615 is the number. Let's try to sign him up for 5.5 over 8 years, which would still be a pretty good deal. And we'll hold off with Nudivara, and then again hold off with everybody else as well. And then forward-wise, Kasper Simon Tyval. Buddy, pal of mine. You're looking for even less money now than you were before, which is hilarious. We'll try 7.2, which would still be an absolute steal. And Mika Pirnez. Let's just do that. That would be fine. That's a cheap enough contract. And hopefully we can get this done so I can pay attention to the scouts from this point on. Let's see. Tyrväinen still rejects. Pirnez signs. Simon Tyval rejects. Hikola rejects. Okay, this is going well. This is going fantastically, isn't it? God damn. All right. Again, goalie-wise, nothing to worry about. Defensively, Thomas Hikola. Buddy, pal o' mine, 8x8. Is that enough? We still have $31 million in space, so I would like to think that it will be. Tyrväinen. Ideally, it would be down to 7.5, or not 7.5, 5.5. Let's go 6x8. You basically get Risto's contract. And then forward-wise, Kasper Simon Tyval. Buddy, pal of mine. My best friend, Kasper. Let's go 7.75 by 8. Just to get you locked up long-term. Hopefully, that is enough. And then we'll spend money wherever the hell else we have to spend it. Tyrväinen signs, Simon Tyval signs, Hikola signs. Thank God. The only casualty is Rasmus Ristolainen, which you could argue wasn't even necessary. We do have $11.8 million left in cap space, but I think it was better to be safe than sorry. Probably. Who knows? Maybe. Well, then again, Marcus Nudivara isn't even signed yet, so yeah, it pretty much had to be him. We had to get something for him, otherwise we let Nudivara go for nothing. So I think I'm okay with that decision overall. We will try to bring back Nudivara for now. Hopefully a 1-year deal. Let's try 1 year at 5.5 because I'm afraid of him regressing and that contract becoming difficult to move. And again, all these other guys, most of them, yes, we're going to be bringing back anyway. But still, you never know who's going to appear on the free agent list. As all of these other guys, really, I'm planning on dropping. Although, even, like I said, the majority of them will be back. I want to see what Nudivara signs for before we send a deal to Henrik Borgstrom, who really disappointed in the playoffs. You no longer have the cap space. That's not true. I genuinely, I don't care what anyone says, like, oh, well, you only have, what, you only have 40 players signed? Come on now. I don't know, like, there's no retention. I don't understand why that's happening. I genuinely don't understand what's going on with that. We clearly have the cap space. Unlike when people thought, like, oh, it's because you have so few contracts signed. Like, no, it's fine. Trust me, I've gone through draft to glories where I've had 7 people signed heading into free agency. That's not the issue. I don't understand what underlying issue is going on here, but my God, is it frustrating. Let's try 5.75, which apparently won't go through. So if I lose Marcus Nudivara because of whatever the hell is happening behind the scenes in this game, that is going to be incredibly frustrating, but at least it would be him. So, okay, what is happening with this? I genuinely don't understand what the hell's happening with this. It doesn't make sense. It's the same reason as to why we had to make moves last year to make sure we could bring back Capo Caco. There was no choice. And now pretty much I'm being hung out to dry here again by whatever the hell is going on with this game. And yeah, it's slightly frustrating, ever so slightly. but we'll try to make the best of it, I guess. So we'll let everybody go to free agency, and then try to bring back whoever the hell we can bring back, you know, depending on who it's saying that we have available. Or how much money we have available, I should say. Which is apparently not even $5 million. Which doesn't make sense. So let me go to proposed trade. What are we listed at cap space-wise? What the hell? It's not because we're under the floor either. Before anyone... I know we have 12 contracts, all the ones were expiring. It's not because of that. Again, I've had less contracts than this and have been way under the floor. Feel free to watch the early stages of Draft to Glory when we have to fill out the roster with random veteran free agents. I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand why all of a sudden now, if that is the case, who knows, maybe it is all of a sudden, maybe a change was made, but why the hell that's the complication? It just doesn't make sense. Now, again, we have $18 million in space. If the game honestly can't register that, oh, well, you have 30 contracts to sign and $18 million isn't enough. It is, though. It is, even to get to the cap floor. But regardless, we should be able to bring back Nudivara, I'd like to think. There are some big-time free agents as well. Travis Madden from the Sens, Edgar Owens from Buffalo, and Quinn Hughes is also a free agent. In terms of goalies, no big names. Right, so do we have any Finns? I don't think we do. It's going to be the same damn guys that we just let go to free agency that are going to be coming back, with the exception of Kai Puka, who was one of our goalies. He is now an 80 overall, so there will be at least one new face. Hopefully, it's going to be Kai Puka. So we have that going for us. Ville Husso will also be on the way back. We'll give him $1.5 million because, of course, we got to get to the floor. Zhukov, Dorsett to Smith, hockey won't be available. Vieni Vevalainen, congratulations. You will be the other goaltender that we need to sign, and we will look for a prospect or two. Kuda, the Kuda. He is going to be available. A third-round pick of Vegas in 2025. Nobody else there is going to be available for us, so we will throw our name into that hat, even though it's not looking like he's going to be the best prospect available. In terms of defensemen, any prospects? Oh, please. Please. No. Johnny Park and Brizgalov. For medium fours, Heinola was our player for a while. Might be worth trying to bring him back. Maybe. I mean, in terms of the top Finns, it's just going to be Nudivara and Heinola. So Ponikarovsky is Estonian. Not what I would have expected. So with that $18 million to spend, Marcus Nudivara has some big money offers from some teams that are going to regret giving him 5 years. We'll try 1 year at $6 million. Heinola will try 1 year at $5.75, just to give us even more options defensively. And then, of course, we're going to have to fill out the roster with a bunch of random Finns, which I'll send those offers off-screen, I guess, just to make that process a little bit more quick. And, of course, Henrik Borgstrom is there as well. We should probably look to still bring him back, even though he disappointed in the playoffs. We'll send him the big money deal. Lundstrom is going to be Swedish, unfortunately. Mikael Granlund's available, which is ridiculous. Kachuk's not available, is he? He is not. Granlund at 35. Let's send Granlund an offer as well, because out of all these guys, I don't really care who we get back, as long as we get back some of them. And Casper as well, a good luck charm. I'll offer him 3.325. And with that, I think we're good. So I'll be back in 1 second. Let me send out another offer to Arturi Lehkonen. Let me send out an offer to a bunch of random, AHL level Finns, and we'll advance a day and see what happens with some of these offers. All right, we're good to go. 30 contracts offered. This will get us right to where we need to be, but we also need to sign a scout. We might as well. Not that we really need to, but, why not have 20 out of 20 when there's really only 2 leagues you can scout to end up with a Finn? It is going to be, who's it going to be? Justin Falk. Justin Falk apparently retired. Travis Hamonic, Thomas Hickey, Jay Bomeister, Ham Hughes. I'm thinking I want to bring in a certain Finn who just retired, not Mikko Pekarainen. Where is he? How bad is he? There he is, Mika Salamaki. 6-year deal, Mika. We'll just continue to give you money for no reason. He was on this team for a lot of years. We might as well look to bring him back. Let's see what happens here with all of those offers that we have sent out. Salamaki is back with the team. Kuta, the rejection. He goes to Colorado instead. Okay. Okay, though. Okay. I know we only have 12 players on the roster right now. But, you know, I'm just going to let that go. I'm just going to let that go. That speaks for itself. Lekanen says we no longer have the cap space. Ricola signs. Sarela, Koppanen, Tulola, Ville Husso, Nurmi, Bjorkfist is back. Virta, Kionen, Kuokkanen, Samparanta, Honka, Ikonen, Altanen, Vivalainen, Sarela, Heinola, Vainio, Robin Salo, Petrus Palmu, Vertanen, Kerman, Pirnez, Koivunen, Puka rejects due to cap space. Marcus Nudivara goes to Montreal, even though I offered him way more money. Henrik Borgstrom to Pittsburgh. Granlund says we don't have the cap space anymore. So let's take a look at the roster then, shall we? After all of that, we have $1 million in cap space. So what's this roster shaping up to be then? Goalie-wise, we need to sign a third goalie. That's fine. Defensively, we have Juolevi, Hikola, Tiervainen, Peltonen, Heinola, and nobody. So that third pairing defense is going to be questionable. We need to find a third pairing defender. And then forward-wise, I mean, at least Bjorkfist is back. He'll be on the third line with Pirnez. And then the fourth line, that's the questionable one. So, you know, the top players are still here, but, you know, those depth roles are going to, you know, they're going to be a little bit questionable, we'll say. There's going to be some second guessing there. So goaltending-wise, is there anybody that we can sign for cheap then if Puka's not interested? Which is a joke. An absolute joke. It is going to be Joonas Korpisalo again. Joonas, welcome back. We just can't get away from one another, can we? Defensively, yeah, there's no one left there. Levainen's there. Levainen is available, but money's an issue. So we'll sim ahead to August 1st, as we typically do. See if anyone's dropped their demands in terms of financial requests. And we'll take it from there. Hopefully we see some developments from some people somehow, some way, as Joonas Korpisalo has come back home. But let's see. Let's just take a look then at what the free agent list is looking like. I'm scared and concerned. But, you know, let's see what we're looking like in terms of free agent requests. Let's do it. Let's do it. So forward-wise, it's not looking good. Like, we have 1.6, but there's really nobody that we're going to sign that's really going to help out the team. Like, I can bring back Eric Holla on a cheap deal, so that'll be fun, having to rely on Eric Holla. And then defensively, not right wings, defensively, please. Thank you very much. Oh, God, the other Tiervainen. We'll bring him back, too. We'll see. We'll see what we're looking like. We'll see what we're looking like once we get to, we'll see what we're looking like once we get to, oh my God, I was going to say the preseason. The preseason. There we go. Sim the next season. And again, hopefully there is some last-second development. We do end up signing those two guys that we just sent offers out to. I mean, the good thing is, and what we really care about, is that the top players on this team are still together. The top six, The top four is kind of still together. I mean, the third pairing last year that kind of struggled will be, taking a step up. So we're going to have to rely on that a little bit. So the defense might be a little bit weaker on paper, but the goaltending is still going to be just as strong. So I still like our chances heading into this next season. Of course, again, the pressure is very, very much on to get back to the finals for a third year in a row. I don't know if we're going to be capable of that, but I hope that's the case. So again, goalie-wise, it's going to be Luukkonen alongside Ville Husso. The defense is going to be Juolevi, Hikala, Peltonen, Tyrväinen, Heinola, and then probably the other Tyrväinen. That's who it's shaping up to be. Pasi Tyrväinen will join Tuomo, is it? No, it's Tommy Tyrväinen. That's still not bad. It could be worse. Could be better, but it could be worse. And then forward-wise, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, Bjorkqvist will be on the third line, but still. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and 3 with Koivunen. Patrick Virta's back, but he's down to a 75. So, I mean, we have other guys, Sorella, Palmu, Koponen, and Nurmi, that could be given an opportunity. I think we will stick with Koivunen. I mean, it did put him there by default, depending on what the attributes are looking like against Sampo Ranta. The bottom six is, let's go with questionable. Let's go with questionable. But I still have confidence. Because, again, looking at this team, Kakko, Lambert, Rantanen. Really, we'll go with Simon Teval. Louis, Lambert, Ludman. Bjorkqvist, Pirnez, and Sampo Ranta, you could argue, does deserve a chance. We will probably make moves this year. It really does depend on what the draft looks like. Because, again, if it's going to be another weaker draft for us, then we'll have the ability to go out, make moves, and bring in some reinforcements. And right now, at least, Nicholas Pettersson is at the top of the list. We don't have any high-up Finns. We have Kari Viitanen, another defenseman who looks like a lock to be a two-way or a defensive D. And that's it. Oh, actually, okay. Hanu Asplund, Mika Heino, I guess it would be. Heino. Okay, so there are a couple of guys in the first round this year, but it's whether or not they stay there. So I think that'll really set up what this team is going to be this year. Is number one, we'll see how we're doing, and we'll keep an eye on the draft pick situation as well to see if these guys develop, because if they do, then, we have extra picks this year, but if they don't, we can easily flip these picks and look to bring in some slightly better people. Yes, the cap situation, I mean, we have $3.5 million available, so changes could be made if necessary, but obviously, in terms of getting teams to retain cap, we can do that as well. So while we might be a weaker team in some aspects, I'm feeling pretty good about the roster right now and our chances to win again next year. That journey to make it back to a cup final for the third straight year will begin in the next episode. And, we're halfway to the road, halfway down the road of becoming the NHL's version of the Buffalo Bills. So we have that going for us. I will see you guys in the next one. I love you, Buffalo. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you haven't already done so. Helps me out a lot, apparently, with the way YouTube works. Check out everything in the description if you have not already done so. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Take it easy. And goodbye.